What is something you swore you'd never do but ended up doing? My dad was an abusive alcoholic. He'd come home drunk, beat my mom, and then me if I tried to stop him. He'd blame us for his drinking and say it was our fault. I swore I'd never be like him. I was a straight A student, got a full scholarship to a top university, and was on my way to becoming a doctor. I met a girl and fell in love. We got married and had a son. I was working long hours and started drinking to cope with the stress. I told myself it was just a few beers to relax. One night I came home drunk. My wife was upset and we argued. I hit her. My son saw it. The next morning I woke up with a hangover and saw the bruise on her face. I realized I had become my father. I broke down and cried. I begged her to forgive me and promised I'd never drink again. I went to AA and got sober. I worked hard to be a better husband and father. I made sure my son knew I loved him and would never hurt him. Years later, my son came home from college and told me he was gay. I was shocked and didn't know how to react. I said some things I regretted. He left and didn't talk to me for months. I realized I was being a hypocrite. I had sworn I'd never be like my father, but I was doing the same thing to my son. I called him and apologized. I told him I loved him no matter what. We made up and now we have a great relationship.